Welcome, dear students. Myself is Sumit, and today we'll be doing the third chapter, which is meeting life challenges. In the last lecture, we read about stress, in which we read the definition of stress, eustress, distress, stress concept, the type of stressor, the appraisal concept, which include the type of appraisal, primary appraisal, secondary appraisal, stressors, which include the person's characteristics, resources, etc. The person's characteristics include the physiological characters, including the physiological health, the psychological characters, which include the mental health, and the cultural characters, which include the cultural definition and meanings. While within the resources, we talk about the physical, personal, and social resources. The physical resources include the money or the medical care. The personal resources include the skills, and the social resources include the support network. In today's lecture, we'll be talking about the sign and symptoms of stress and the types of stress. And the last topic of today's lecture will be the sources of stress. So, let we begin together. And the first topic of today's lecture is the sign and symptoms of stress. So, let we start now. It include how to identify the person is having or for having stress, as we know that most of the times the stress goes unidentified, undiagnosed. So we need to understand the symptoms of stress, which are of many types. Like the first one is physiological symptoms. And if we are talking about the physiological symptoms, it means what happens in the body. In the stressful condition, many of the unwanted hormones get secreted and damages the body organs, or directly or indirectly damages the body. So this include the physiological symptoms of stress. Then the next symptom is known as the cognitive symptoms. The cognitive symptoms are the major factors or the major symptoms of stress. These include many situations, many type of symptoms or signs, like not able to concentrate in anything. If a person forget most of the things, or if the person is not able to make proper decision, or if the person is not able to use the rational thinking. These all are the symptoms which are known as the cognitive symptoms of stress. If we are talking about the next one, next aspect, or next symptom of stress, it is known as the behavioral aspect. Behavioral aspect mean if the people are not able to eat properly, or if the people are not able to sleep properly. So eating and sleeping problem is a type of behavioral aspect. Or for some of the reason, people tend to going for drugs or any kind of addiction, like watching TV is also a type of addiction, or try to read, or crying a lot. The person is very, very irritable. The mood swings are there. There is worry, there is anxiety, there is fear. These all are the behavioral aspect of stress. Now, come to the next heading. The next heading which we are talking here is the type of stress. Stress type include the physical and environmental stress, or the physiological stress, or the social stress. So if we are talking about the type of stress or type of stressor, you can also call it type of stressor. It is of three main types or four main types: the physical stress, the environmental stress, the third one is psychological stress, and the fourth one is the social stress. So the first one is the physical and environmental stress. Physical and environmental stress. Physical stress is usually the internal stress, the body stress. And फिजिकल स्ट्रेस कैसे बनेगा, क्यों ये फिजिकल स्ट्रेस होता है? सो वन ऑफ द रीजन ऑफ फिजिकल स्ट्रेस इज ओवर एक्सर्ट, मीन्स if we are working or if you are working more than your capacity, anything which is more than our capability and we want to doing it, और अगर हम कोई ऐसा काम कर रहे हैं जो जितनी हमारी एबिलिटी है उससे ज़्यादा का काम है, तो उससे फिजिकल स्ट्रेस या बॉडी स्ट्रेस हो जाता है. और द फिजिकल लेबर, अगर हम ज़रूरत से ज़्यादा खेल लेंगे, सपोज 1 आवर या 2 आवर की कैपेबिलिटी है, कैपेसिटी है, और हम दिन भर खेलते पे रहे, तो उससे जो स्ट्रेस आएगा उसे हम बॉडी स्ट्रेस कहेंगे या फिजिकल स्ट्रेस कहेंगे. So the physical stress include the physical labor. While if we are talking about the environmental stress क्यों होगा? Due to the environmental factors like the noisy situation, like the pollution, like the heat, like the traumatic situation, etc. Now come to the next type of stress or type of stressor, which is psychological stress. Psychological stress include frustrations. What is frustration? या frustration कब होती है? When any particular goal which is blocked. Suppose you set a goal. Suppose कोई इंडिविजुअल है जिसने क्लास को टॉप करने का गोल बनाया है, और वो कुछ नंबरों से या बहुत कम नंबरों से टॉप ना कर पाके सेकंड रह गया, तो इससे क्या होगा? फ्रस्ट्रेशन हो जाएगा. तो कभी भी अगर कोई गोल कंप्लीट नहीं होता, सपोज हम किसी पर्टिकुलर यूनिवर्सिटी में चाहते हैं एडमिशन लेना, लेकिन किसी वजह से वहाँ पे एडमिशन नहीं मिल पाए, तो फ्रस्ट्रेशन होगा. सपोज हम किसी पर्टिकुलर फील्ड में जाना चाहते हैं लेकिन हम वहाँ नहीं जा पा रहे हैं, तो फ्रस्ट्रेशन होगा. द सेकेंड वन इज कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स. कॉन्फ्लिक्ट में क्या होगा भाई? दिस वन इज बेसिकली द इनकम्पैटिबल नीड्स. वी हैव 2 चॉइसेस और हम ये डिसाइड नहीं कर पाते हैं कि हम कौन सी चॉइस को लें. सपोज जब आप क्लास 11th में आए तो आपको 2 या 3 चॉइस दी गई कि या तो आप ह्यूमैनिटीज़ में चले जाएं, या आप साइंस ले लें, या आप कॉमर्स ले लें. तो यहाँ पे अगर क्लियर कट ना हो कि क्या लेना है, तो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हो जाएगा, है ना. सो दिस वन इज कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. The third one is pressure. Pressure could be internal or external. The internal pressure is basically due to my own expectation to myself और my own expectations from myself. मैं अपने लिए ही कुछ पर्टिकुलर एक्सपेक्टेशन रख रहा हूँ और अगर वो एक्सपेक्टेशंस मेरी पूरी नहीं हो रही हैं तो मैं प्रेशर में आ जाऊँगा. सो दिस इज़ द माई ओन एक्सपेक्टेशंस फ्रॉम माई सेल्फ. मैं अपने आप से जो मैंने एक्सपेक्टेशन रखी हैं अगर किसी भी वजह से वो पूरी नहीं हो पा रही हैं, सपोज़ मैं कोई प्लेग्राउंड में गया क्रिकेट खेलने और मैंने एक्सपेक्टेशन रखी थी कि मैं आज अच्छा खेलूँगा और किसी वजह से मैं अच्छा नहीं खेल पाया, तो ये जो हो जाएगा, ये प्रेशर आ जाएगा मुझ पर. या सपोज़ मैंने कोई कैच छोड़ दिया, या अगर मैं फुटबॉल का प्लेयर हूँ और मैं गोल नहीं कर पाया, तो इससे क्या हो जाएगा, प्रेशर क्रिएट हो जाएगा. अगर मैं दूसरे प्रेशर की बात करूँ, दिस वन इज़ द सोशल प्रेशर. सोशल प्रेशर इज़ अगेन द एक्सपेक्टेशन ऑफ सोसाइटी. Internal pressure is the pressure which is due to my own expectation from myself, but stress social pressure is something different. It is the expectation of society for me. क्या सोसाइटी मेरे लिए सोचती है, उसकी क्या एक्सपेक्टेशन है, और अगर मैं उस एक्सपेक्टेशन को पूरा नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ तो इससे जो है वो सोशल स्ट्रेस शुरू हो जाएगा, सोशल प्रेशर शुरू हो जाएगा. Third type of stress is sorry, the third type of stress is the social stress. Social stress का मीनिंग क्या है? It is due to the demise of any family member or the death of any knowing person or the illness, the chronic illness or the strained relationship. These all etc. are the factors for social stress. Now come to the last topic of today's lecture is the sources of stress. If we are talking about the sources of stress, a wide range of events and conditions can generate stress, like the major stressful life events such as death of a loved one or personal injury. The sources of stress include life events, daily hassles, and the traumatic events. Life events are usually the changes. They may be the big changes or small changes, big changes or small changes, which result in the person's routine change. These include both big and small change. These include the sudden or gradual change are the life events. They usually disturb the routine and cause upheaval. These include the misunderstanding between any relationship. So this is the first type of stress source. The second is the daily hassles. These are usually the personal stresses we endure as individuals due to the happening in our daily life, and if these hassles accumulate, these can form the stress. These include the water shortage, the noisy surrounding, the traffic jam, or any other kind of daily hassles, like this includes, suppose आप लोगों को सुबह उठ के स्कूल जाना होता है, और स्कूल जाने के लिए, स्कूल जाने की अगर हम बात करें, और अगर हम सुबह थोड़ा सा देर से उठें तो बस मिस हो जाती है, तो ये डेली हैजल्स है ये। इसकी वजह से रोज़ टेंशन रहेगा कि भाई कहीं नींद देर में खुली तो बस मिस हो जाएगी। तो इस तरीके की जो भी ये डेली हैजल्स हैं, ये जो हैं, ये सोर्स ऑफ स्ट्रेस के अंदर आ जाती है। द थर्ड एंड द लास्ट वन इज द ट्रॉमेटिक इवेंट्स। These include being involved in a variety of extreme events like fire, any type of accident, a robbery, earthquake, tsunami, etc. Fire, accident, natural disasters all include the traumatic events. These turn around the person's life, and due to such events, the person lose hope, the person will become irritable, and professional help will be needed to cope with them in this particular situations. So this is all about today's lecture. Thank you so much.